Most people believe life just happens to them. They believe success is luck, failure is bad timing, money is about opportunity, happiness is about circumstances. And because they believe that, they live as if they are passengers. But there is a problem with this belief. It doesn't match reality. If life were random, patterns wouldn't exist. If success were luck, the same types of people wouldn't keep winning. If failure were bad timing, the same mistakes wouldn't repeat across generations. Something else is at work, something quieter, something invisible, something mental. This is what we call the mental law. Not a rule created by society, not a motivational concept, not a spiritual slogan. A law, just like gravity. You don't need to believe in gravity for it to work. You don't need to like it. You don't need to understand it. It works anyway. And the mental law works the same way. Your thoughts create tendencies. Your tendencies create habits. Your habits create results. And your results reinforce your thoughts. That loop runs whether you are aware of it or not. Most people are not. They wake up, they react, they scroll, they work, they worry, they repeat, and slowly, their life becomes a reflection of what they repeatedly think about. Not what they want, not what they hope, but what they mentally rehearse every day. Earl Nightingale said something simple and disturbing. We become what we think about. Most people hear that and think it's poetic. It's not. It's mechanical. Your mind is not a wish-granting machine. It's a direction-setting device. Whatever occupies it most sets the direction of your behavior. Think about fear constantly and your actions become defensive. Think about lack constantly and your decisions become cautious. Think about growth constantly and your behavior stretches. Not because the universe is listening, but because you are. Every action you take starts as a thought. Every hesitation starts as a thought. Every excuse starts as a thought. And here's the uncomfortable part. You don't control your life directly. You control your thinking environment. And that environment controls you. Most people never choose it. They absorb it. From family, from culture, from media, from past failures, from school, from authority figures. And once those ideas settle in, they feel like truth. I'm not good with money. I'm not confident. People like me don't succeed. I always mess things up. Those are not facts. They are mental programs. And the mental law says this. Whatever the mind accepts as true, the body and behavior will obey. If you accept weakness, you will act cautiously. If you accept limitation, you will avoid risk. If you accept inferiority, you will sabotage opportunity. Not consciously, automatically. This is why willpower fails. Willpower tries to fight programming. The mental law says programming always wins. You can't outwork a self-image. You can't hustle past an identity. You can't force long-term change with short-term motivation. You have to change what the mind accepts as normal. Bob Proctor used to say, your results will never exceed your self-image. That means something very specific. You will unconsciously reject opportunities that don't match how you see yourself. Promotion, money, relationships, responsibility. If it feels not like you will find a reason to avoid it. That's not laziness, that's the mental law protecting consistency. The mind values familiarity more than happiness. Read that again. The mind prefers what is known, even if it hurts. That's why people stay in bad jobs, bad relationships, bad habits. Not because they enjoy pain, because pain is familiar. And unfamiliar success feels unsafe. The mental law doesn't care about your comfort. It cares about alignment. Thoughts, beliefs, actions. When they align, results flow. When they conflict, resistance appears. This is why affirmations don't work for most people. Repeating I am successful while mentally believing I'm not capable creates internal friction. The mind rejects it. Not because affirmations are fake, because they contradict the accepted identity. The mental law demands gradual acceptance, not forced belief. You don't leap identities, you evolve them. You don't convince the mind, you condition it. Through repetition, through imagery, through emotional association, through consistent direction. This is where most people quit, because it's quiet work, invisible work, no applause. But it's the only work that actually lasts. Think about a thermostat. It doesn't heat the room directly, it sets a temperature. The system does the rest. Your mind works the same way. Your dominant thoughts set the temperature. Your actions adjust automatically. If your mental temperature is average, you will cool down ambition. If your mental temperature is limited, you will sabotage growth. If your mental temperature is expanding, you will naturally seek improvement. No force required. This is why people who suddenly succeed look calm. They already lived there mentally. The success just caught up. The mental law is patient, relentless, impartial. It doesn't punish, it doesn't reward, it reflects. If you constantly think about problems, your life will present problems. If you constantly think about solutions, your life will present options. Same word, different mental filter. And this is where responsibility enters. Not guilt, not shame, responsibility. Because once you understand the mental law, victimhood stops working. You may not be responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for what you continue to think about. That's the pivot point. This doesn't mean positive thinking, it means directed thinking. Choosing what occupies your mental space. Choosing what you rehearse internally. Choosing what story you tell yourself when no one is listening. Because that's the story your life will obey. Most people wait for evidence before changing their thinking. The mental law requires the opposite. You change the thinking first, the evidence follows later. That delay is where faith is tested. Not religious faith, mental faith. The ability to hold a direction without immediate proof. That's why few people do it. But those who do, change everything. Not overnight, not magically, gradually, predictably, lawfully. The mental law is not mysterious, it's precise. And once you stop fighting it, you can finally work with it. That's when life stops feeling random and starts feeling intentional.